Make drama a real life, but a real life, make it as a drama. As Babuji says, pretend. Pretend that you're angry. You may not bite someone, but you can hiss and, you know, sow a kind of a wall around you that, I will not tolerate this. I cannot tolerate this. You may not respond with or react with anger, but you can pretend to be angry without allowing that anger to touch your heart. Why do people get angry? First reason is when someone either justifiably or not so justifiably blames an individual, okay, and you can't handle it. First thing is to have a dialogue with the person who makes you angry. Have a heart-to-heart talk and see how we can stop this. Second thing is, if you are about to get angry on someone, it's always good to take a pause. Reflect on it. That instead of getting angry now, I'll get angry tomorrow, and you'll buy time. And during that few hours, you might realize why the other person was getting angry, and perhaps you might not even get angry. You might even feel regret that why I was supposed to, or why I was intending to get angry and teach that person a lesson. So the right reasons will come up why you should not be angry, see. And justifiably or not, sometimes other persons are creating situations where you become helpless and you are forced to get in such a situation and express your mind in a very unkind way. I think at that time, if I were you, I would just pretend. Life of pretension is very good. We have all these actors, actresses, and one question they ask me, how should we act in such a way that it is most impressive? I said, make it as realistic as possible. If you have to cry, be realistic about the whole thing. If you have to get angry, be realistic about the whole thing. But when it comes to real life, make it a drama. Make drama a real life, but a real life, make it as a drama. As Babuji says, pretend. Pretend that you're angry. You may not bite someone, but you can hiss and, sow a kind of a wall around you that, I will not tolerate this. I cannot tolerate this. You may not respond with or react with anger, but you can pretend to be angry without allowing that anger to touch your heart, because anger is such a thing that not only you cast an anger spell on others and hurt others, but as a result you also get affected. Your heart becomes very toxic at that time, and at that time heart releases certain hormones which increases your blood pressure. Heart starts beating very fast, and the whole system becomes stressed. So we should pretend that we are angry, but without really getting angry. And meditation meditation is a key where we learn so many things, good, bad, how to create a drama also. Meditation teaches us all these things. Not only the divine aspect, but also the worldly aspect of our existence. That's why, Lord Krishna in Gita, he talks so boldly and so highly about yoga. Yoga karmasu kausalam. Everything becomes kausal, perfect. Even, when we watch some movies where there are murder scenes and the cases are going on in the court, and they make the decision whether it was premeditated murder or accidental murder. Premeditated means something which was thought about so well planned, contemplated from all angles. So meditation is one way of looking at things from all angles. And that's the only thing that will give us answers to every problem, not just anger. To every problem, you will be able to study that problem from all angles. Whether solution emerges from it or not, that's a different thing. But having studied that, you will be able to know whether there is a solution to it or not, and what can be the solution. That will be the next step. So as all these things unfolds, as we tackle each problem, people blame the youth that the youth is not listening, but it's not really true. It's not the only youth, but also you try to reason with your parents who are older, right? Would they listen to you? Very rare, very rare. So, in order for us to come on the same platform, same dimension, I had to resonate, I had to speak out from my heart, from the bottommost part of my heart, deepest corner of my heart. And when the listener is also listening from the deepest level of their being, then there can be a bridge we can build, we can come on a common platform. But my depth and your depth, or your depth and your father's depth, or your mother's depth, they are not same. So there will always be what we call differential in opinion, and which we have to respect that. We have to respect it with all our might. Don't oppose it. Problem comes when you say, no, I will not listen. Tell them, Dad or Mommy, I do agree with you. Let me think over it. Instead of rebelling and fighting it out, then say, oh no, you are so wrong. Then there are problems, I think, because believe you me, there is nobody who is more interested in your life than your own parents. But somehow we take panga with them. we think we have a living enemy in our midst, which is not the case, you see. You will realize it when you yourself will become parents. You can, let us say, if you want to judge your action, fast forward your life, and you think that you are yourself a grandmother or a grandfather. Okay, having done that, wearing a cap of a grandfather or a grandmother, you put yourself in front of you. Now you are a grandfather, and now you are a youth also, and have a dialogue with yourself. Would you like that? Or have your granddaughter or a grandson talk with you the way you are talking now with your parents or grandparents? Would that be okay? Would you, as grandma or grandpa, like what you are doing? Okay. Then you can say, okay, my action or my thoughts or my ideas are justifiable or not. It is not that all of us do not know what right thing and wrong thing is. We all are fully aware of it. But somehow, somewhere, this peer pressure, ego, my way of thinking prevails, and somehow it creates a lot of disturbance. But when we pause for a moment and meditate and see how I would think when I turn 80, then that will give you some idea of your thoughts and the direction in which you are proceeding. See, youth is, I think we are neither there nor here. We are learning from our experiences. World would change immediately if we were born to learn from others' experiences. For example, if we can learn from others' mistakes, it would be great. But no, I have to make my own mistakes. Nothing wrong with that also. But there are three types of individuals, or maybe more types. But these three stands out a lot. One, who after making mistakes doesn't even realize that he has made a mistake. And even if someone tells him, look, you fool, you are making this mistake, you're going in a wrong direction. But you keep going and going and going until you hit the tragedy. And it's not that you don't know. Inside, everyone knows that I am making this mistake. For example, drugs, smoking, any sort of addiction. Everyone knows that this is not right, but you are helpless. Helpless to quit it. Because that dopamine rush, it's so pleasant, you can't do without it. See. Second category of individual who understands after making mistakes that yes, I made a mistake. He's quite honest. And at evening time, before finally retiring to bed, if you can make this resolution that yes, I made this mistake, but I will not repeat this again. There are two categories, no? One who makes mistakes and doesn't make any resolution. One who makes mistakes and also makes a resolution now that enough, I will not repeat this again. So there is some sort of transformation happening afterwards. See? Or another category can also come in, oh God, sorry I made this mistake. I cannot promise you that I will not do this again. But I need your help. This will be a very honest thing to say, right? Or you're reading a magazine. While reading a magazine, sometimes the photo on the article, it's so attractive, or the topic or the title of the article becomes so attractive. Oh wow, I got to read this one. And after you read one paragraph, you realize it's not going anywhere. The title is attractive, but let me drop this. You see, we all understand this. We face this every single day. Moment we realize this is not right, we drop it. Right? Another category of person, even before committing to any act, even before, mentally, when you meditate over what you're going to do next, you'll get the answer. Or you don't have to waste half an hour reading a whole article and make nothing out of it. So you save actually a lot of time. Even the mundane thing of eating, or what to cook next, or what to watch next. If you give yourself a pause and some sort of a wakeful thought, awareful attitude towards yourself, should I do this, should I do? And follow your heart. So you'll save a lot of time, I'm telling you, you'll save, and not only save time, but you'll end up doing something better. You will choose something worthwhile. So pausing before you act is a great thing.
We may not control everything outside, but we can transform how we respond. Click on the next video and discover that shift.